Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Rooted in Hebrew. My name is Mike, and I'd like to welcome all. Shalom, Sister Pinky D. Shalom, Sister Monica. And we got next. Glad you brothers and sisters were able to make it in today. I tell you, whew, these people, they doing some things. And a lot of these things that's about to happen, I'm not going to say about to happen. It's happening. And brothers and sisters are panicking. Shalom, Sister Linda Cross. Some are panicking. And, excuse me. And it's already having an effect on brothers and sisters. What was that? Not Kingdom Prepper, good night. Canadian Prepper. Oh, I mean, whew. What he be talking about is, something that's about to happen. This Great Depression is, from what he is saying and others are saying, is going to be way worse than the one in 1929. That's just one thing. You know what I forgot to do? Hold on, once you get on, let's send it to her. I know today is Tuesday. This is when Sister Doreen is supposed to be on. But these are the things, brothers, I'll be talking about. For us to keep our senses as they go crazy over money. And don't get me wrong, we all need money to live in this crooked system. We do need that. But at the same time, shalom, Sister Cynthia, we must have wisdom. Because when with wisdom, it covers all bases across the board. And that's the thing that we should be praying for. These people, their wisdom, I'm not even going to call it wisdom. Their knowledge that they have when it comes to money management and things, that already give it to them. But they don't have wisdom. Wisdom, as the scriptures say, it preserves alive its owner. So with wisdom, you covering all bases, from the cutting of your grass in the front yard to your worship to the Most High. All of that takes wisdom. Period. It's going to do it. A child may be slightly disobedient. Wisdom. You will see that child, you know how that child acts, because 9 times out of 10, that child got it from you or the father. One or the other, or both. You gonna know, I did the same crazy stuff when I was a child. You gonna have to say these things. But with that wisdom, you know exactly how to discipline that child. It ain't necessarily got to be you got to beat the child every time they look up. No. You're not necessarily whooping the child. They just use wisdom. But with this world and the way they're doing it, and I'm gonna tell you this, brothers and sisters, we just got a warning shot. What was it? Was it the day before yesterday? I forgot the sister's name. Was it CNN? I think she worked on CNN. But they fired her. She went in on Trump. They fired her. And they gave some type of reasoning why they fired her or whatever. But you know good and well, there was some political talk in the background in order for her to lose her job. But this is a warning shot. The same thing is going to happen to us. Joy Reid, okay, yes. That's a warning shot, brothers. And this is the reason why I'm saying, within all of our prayers, we need to be praying for wisdom. The wisdom that we ask for. And when I say wisdom, brothers and sisters, listen, ask the Most High for extreme wisdom, because the devil is about to get more extreme. When he move, we need to elevate. When he go low, we got to climb a little bit higher. Yes, they did, Sister Cynthia. Yes, they did. And all they doing is striking fear. This is how the fear starts at. This is where it starts at. Hold on. This is where the fear starts. Hey, let's affect her. Then another journalist or whatever may come up and want to say the same thing, but then they trying to what's the word? Season their words more so. Oh, it's already started. It's going to happen with us. It's going to. They're going to slow our roll, but they're not going to stop it. That's one thing that we will have to understand. They cannot stop what the Most High has put in place. See, that's the thing. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something, sister. Some of my own brothers and sisters, Sister Monica said the same thing about me, and I'm going in a different direction. That's the way of that's the scapegoat notation they want to put out there to the world. That's how they run with that stuff. Shalom, Brother Kenneth. Yes, they did. They made a prime example of her, and they being bold and vicious with it. No, 9 times out of 10, what is this sister going to do? More than likely, she wants to. More than like, I would think that she would go get a YouTube channel or something like that and build her base. Well, she pretty much got a base, but she got to build it kind of quick. Because after a few months and people don't hear from you, it's like you disappear. That's how Satan's system works. But when we asking the Most High for wisdom, brothers and sisters, we need to step it up to an extreme wisdom in order for us to be encouraging to our brothers and sisters who may not have that strength of faith. Wisdom builds faith. And the way the world is coming down on brothers and sisters who are not awakened, yeah, you can only imagine what's about to happen to them. They're going to need you, brothers and sisters, to lighten their load. We might as well get used to it. It's going to happen, and especially with your family and other brothers and sisters when it's all over, said and done. When the Most High start to wake his people up during this calamitous time, and usually that's the only time you get our attention, when things are flat out just not going right. Wait a minute, hold on, Sister Monica. She called who a Russian bot? She called us. She called us. Why in the way she called us Russian bots? I mean, I didn't hear that one. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say it like this. A lot of our brothers and sisters who are not awakened are saying a whole lot of things that's going to come back, bite them in the butt. Let's just say, for example, the ones who voted for Trump in something what? We had the example. I don't think I have to say it. You had the Spanish, what is it, Mexicans for MAGA, and then he came back and took the rug right up under them. And if you can't get affected by the treatment of your people, Now you may be you are the problem. You are the problem. Period. There's nothing you could possibly say. I tell you, we're going to need it, brothers. We're going to need those prayers going up to the Most High and answer for wisdom. That wisdom is what's going to assist you in your survival. Oh, along with the Most High's spirit and direction, as long as we ask for wisdom and we practice wisdom. And just saying, haphazardly, I'm this here and that. No, we need to practice it. Okay. Oh yeah, you know what, Sister Monica? Who's that? What's the other guy? Roland Martin. Same thing. He pretty much on that same totem pole. Same thing. Talking about black people that didn't get involved with the this last election. And see that those type of brothers and sisters, once this awakening is fully accomplished, they're gonna have to sit back and start analyzing everything that they have said. It's going to happen. It's going to happen because they're going to see some things they never, they're thinking they've seen everything in the world. They haven't. They haven't seen nothing. Even with some of us, we haven't seen anything yet. This is just the beginning of it. This is just the beginning of it. You're talking about, you got people like, look at this is going to happen this week. This is what they're saying now, that this is going to happen this week when it comes to this market. And it's that teetering of gold hitting that 3,000 mark. Shalom, y'all saint. I'm glad you made it into this day. It's teetering at 3,000. And then I have my concerns about this, brothers and sisters. This is just my concern. If money, I'm saying it in an example. If money is this thing that we need to move around and do things and things of that nature, and the Most High allow this money to collapse. Now, granted, the Most High said he's going to collect his people and put them back in their land. And his people will be leaving with sustenance. It don't necessarily have to be money all the time or things of that nature. When I say money, I'm talking about that green paper towel dollar, because that's what it's going to amount to. It's going to amount to a paper towel and wipe up some water or clean some dirt. Shalom, Sister Patricia. That's all it's going to amount to. But at the same time, I ask myself, how can we move about? How can we prepare ourselves? How can we go set things up for other brothers and sisters? The Most High know how to do it. Well, who's that? Joseph. He went from the jailhouse to the second in charge of Egypt. So there's nothing unimaginable except for lying that the Most High cannot do. Nothing. And this is what it's like we're at this particular time in our lives, we're seeing these things. We are witnessing a collapse. We are witnessing the collapse of a system and the birth of a new system and the precursor of an exodus, or that's I can't believe I got to sit here and do this, or a gathering. Whoo, I tell you, We got to find things to fight about. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Gathering, Exodus. We all gonna be leaving out of here from the scriptures. All of these things are happening at one time. A collapsing of a system and a birth of a beast system, a birth of a nation, an exodus of a nation, a precursor, pre-trip, however you want to call it. All of these things are happening at one time. And with a lot of our brothers and then, our family members, they don't have the foggiest idea what's on the horizon. Not the foggiest idea. And see, that's the most dangerous thing. If you're depending upon this 401k, they talking about once it hits. That 401k that some brothers and sisters are living off of, it's going to be a reality wake up just to see your money just falling. This is a collapsing of a system, brothers and sisters. Wisdom is what we need. Wisdom is what you need when it comes to your finances. That's what we need. Is that wisdom. Man, I'm trying to figure out something. I still haven't seen Sister Doreen. I'm quite sure she'd be in because I'll send her the link. But that's what we need, brothers and sisters. It's that wisdom. We need that more than money. We need more wisdom than money when it's all over said and done. Because if you have a few dollars, excuse me, hold on for a moment. If you have a few dollars, wisdom will show you exactly how you need to maneuver that money around. So what? It's wisdom, brothers and sisters. It's wisdom is what we need. Solomon, he knew exactly who his people was. He was around them every day. He seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the unmentionable. That's what Solomon seen. From a child on up to the time he became king. He was taking that stuff in. He took all of that in, just like a lot of us. When we was kids, we took a lot of things in. He did too. Now, when he was called to take the throne, he had a concrete conversation with the Most High. He had some questions about his people, Israel. He wasn't worried about no money. He was looking at these people are a bona fide trip. Who in the world how can you govern a people? And then he also looking at his father. Man, this is what my father had to go through. This is why he was depressed. He may not have not known about his father's past, his personal life, and his dealings with the Most High, and his sins, rather. But he's seen the stress on his father because the Most High told him he will have a whole lot of trouble for the remainder of his life with his mishap with Bathsheba, or stress. And he did. Absalom did what he did. It was just, he had it. And so now, hold on. So he's seeing the stress on his father from a child on up, seeing what his father is going through, what he's dealing with, making calls over here, making commands over there. Yes, he's seen that. And we can all relate to that. That's one thing we can do. We can relate to it because we seen the same stress of our parents, things they went through, struggles they went through. When you got grown, you're like, oh, now I understand. Even when you get grown, you still ask your parents or grandparents this or that because you want a better understanding of things. Solomon was the same way. He asked the Most High, "Oh, just give me wisdom, please, to lead your difficult people." He said difficult. I don't know what it is about us. We can see danger a mile away. And you still have brothers and sisters going in one another's throats. Shalom, Sister Kathy Jones. I'm glad you made it in today, sis. That's one thing we see. Are we going to ever pull it together? That remains to be seen. Can we take the initiative individually to come together as one for one purpose only? That is to stay together with wisdom. That right there, that is the question. When Solomon said, "Who is able to rule over these difficult people?" That statement is down. That statement is still alive and kicking, and it's just as loud as it was back in his time. We are some hard-headed individuals. We are. I ain't gonna say hard-headed. I would say difficult. I would say difficult. I would say difficult. We still are. We still are difficult people. And it's going to take the Most High's forgiving powers to look over a lot of things, a lot of stuff that we do, say, act. Shalom, Silver Freak. And we may not know it, but I'm gonna tell you this though. We I was talking to some brothers, and one thing they did realize they had to come to an understanding that there was something different about us compared to the world. That's one thing they had to come to grips with that. They may not believe that we are Yasharel. I mean, because you coming up from a Christian format. That's where they coming from. A Christian format. Or Islamic format. And whatever seeds we lay, we lay. It's the Most High who's going to make it blossom. And some of that blossom is going to be in a shocking way. And that's the thing. When I say a shocking way, let me give you this. It's not an example, it's what this brother did. He said he's Hebrew. He woke up, right? But he does not believe that Yahusha, Hamashiach, is his savior. And he gets highly upset when you're talking about it. Well, prove to me in the scripture. Nobody can do it. No, and I come to realize I understand the reason why nobody is able to show him in the scripture. Although I went to, because I went to plenty of the scriptures in the Hebrew scriptures, because he don't believe nothing in the what they call the New Testament. And I said, well, brother, you need to take the division out your mind. And see, this is where we get a problem at, brothers. I ain't gonna say we get a problem. We think there is a division in the Bible, which true. There is a division, old, new. And when people think about old, oh, you outdated. And they literally believe that. They literally believe that old mean outdated, new mean up to date. And they run with it. They run with it. So I'm like, well, brother, one, and this is the thing, brothers and sisters. Now I understood the reason why he can't get it. I said, one, you're not going to get it. And you're setting yourself up for failure. Because right after we may have a conversation talking about Yahushua, you know, they pull out this type of music, and this music it have a lot of cursing in it. And I'm gonna just say, and the music be about this guy rapping and talking about effing somebody's mama and effing somebody's sister. I was like, dang, I mean, you want to talk about the spiritual things, but it's the devil in here who's dancing around. You cannot blend what is holy to demonism. You cannot do it. You're not going to get no understanding. You're not even going to have no type of wisdom at all. One, you're not going to think you're going to. Well, I'm gonna say it this way. This brother claims he been blessed by the Most High with his, his car, his job, and things of that nature. And I'm like, alrighty. But that don't make, teach his own. But I look at, if you really want to learn and you want to understand, there's some things you can't bring in the devil. You cannot sit here and say, but I want to learn more about the Bible. But then you lingering around the devil's den. It ain't gonna happen. You will never understand. You will never understand. You won't get no wisdom. That was a scripture where Yahushua said, if you have love for your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, more than me, you're not worthy of me. Oh my goodness, what I seen that for. And see, who does this? See, and this is where you have brothers and sisters in the New Testament saying, I don't believe in it. I don't believe Paul. I don't believe this, and I don't believe that. We're brothers and sisters. The Most High said, and he continued to say, he's looking for those to worship him in spirit and truth. The Most High Spirit is going to blend with you for you to understand a scripture. But you go have to have that willingness to listen to him. You go have to have it. Now, I'm not going to say that this brother is condemned. I'm not going to say that. I'm not a judge. I'm not the Most High. He is the supreme judge. Only thing you can do is continue to admonish the brother as a brother and keep it moving. But wisdom is going to be that foundation, brothers and sisters, we're going to need. Wisdom is what we're going to need when the world is trying. Well, I ain't going to say what the world is trying, what the world is going to do to its own system. to its own people. We're gonna need that wisdom to understand this is a beast system. What they're trying, if it gets to when it gets to that time when you have to make that decision, they're going to use some things against you, brothers and sisters, off the top, but they're going to use it against us. And at the same time, this time of trouble, that's going to be global. It's going to be global. No matter what people are saying, it's going to be global. That dollar touches every nation. In order for this system to collapse, that dollar has to be affected. It has to be affected globally. And people that bought into it, you can say they can say what they want to say. There's going to be a measure of residue on each and every nation concerning the dollar. It's going to happen. And they're going to feel the effects. In the book of Revelation, it spoke about how no ship merchant will be buying and selling and things of that nature. And they're going to be talking about, oh, too bad, old Babylon, and things of that nature. Because they're going to be weeping and things like scripture says, because they're not making the money they used to make. They're starting to see a tribulation of things upon them. And that money, brothers and sisters, is not the money that the Most High want us to concern ourselves with. He knows exactly what he's doing and how he is maneuvering things. Wisdom is what we should be asking for. And like I said, granted now, it's not to say, I'm not saying here that you haphazardly misuse your money. No, I'm not saying that. But I am going to say wisdom helps you manage your money a whole lot better. That's what wisdom does. Wisdom, man, it can help you out in so many different ways. I don't even think that we can really get into the depths of wisdom. But when it was all over said and done, King Solomon, that's what he asked for. And the Most High, he was highly pleased with Solomon. Oh yeah, discernment, yes. That discernment, well, you know what? I'm gonna say this now about discernment, sister, when it comes to us. We, for I would say a lot of us, we've seen a lot of bad things happen in this world and things of that nature. We can walk into a store and we can just glance around and we could tell what's about to happen. It's just like we just have this about us. No. People, you could, I mean, if you at a grocery store, you could tell if an individual that's behind that cash register has an attitude or not. We can determine, we have that discernment. And so you're right, Sister Monica. Discernment is going to be a must also with wisdom. And truthfully, discernment, wisdom are like hand in hand. Hand in hand. But if you take both of them together, oh, good gracious, you have a strength. You have a strength. Yes, things are, are happening now. They're happening. And one day, it's going to be, mm, that's going to be a day everybody's going to remember. That's what it's going to be. Yeah, and it's going to lead to us, asking these questions about, hey, I mean, how are we going to move about? How are we going to do this? How are we going to be doing that? And I think that the thing that I find irritating, and when I say irritating, I'm talking irritating, and I put myself up under this blame also, is that I get mad at myself because the Most High has been saying these things to us for years. Let's go back 20 years from now. 20 years back, 20 years back. The Most High he gave us a warning. If you want to be employed or you want to run your own business, this is what I'm going to be doing in the last days. He gave us a warning what he was going to do. He gave us a business plan. He said, in the book of Matthew, that they will be buying and selling, building, marrying in the last days. These are some things he said. So now, if you really want to, you know what? The Most High said this. He said in the last day we're going to be building. So I need to get into this construction business. You can get into the construction business and still be loyal to the Most High because you paid attention to one of the things that he said is going to be happening in the last days. He said they're going to be buying and selling. So there go your opportunity to have your license for importing, exporting. Did he not warn us about these things? Come on now, let's be real. He did. He said what he's going to be doing in the last days. He gave us a chance to be employed at the same time or run a business. It all depends on how we look at the scriptures. Then at the same time, now, as a warning of what and how to, what's the word? Protect yourself. Did he not say, hey, there are going to be pestilence in one place after another? Pestilence. He gave you a warning. All right, I need to make sure my place is clean. Do what I need to do. Have some herbs and things around. That's a warning. That's a warning. When this stuff happened with 19, yeah, it scared a lot of people. It scared a lot of people. But brothers, if we just take the time out, we more time out rather, and look at these things, look at the scriptures, peer into the scriptures a whole lot deeper, we will know exactly how we need to move. Reading the scriptures brings on wisdom. Reading the scriptures bring in that discernment. And at the same time, praying to the Most High to give us these things rather, to be about our business. And at the same time, we turn back around and we give that glory right back to the Most High. That's what we do. That's what we do. I tell you, brothers and sisters, this is not, and I'm not, you know what, brothers and sisters, I'm not knocking what brothers and sisters are trying to do. Well, I'm trying to do the same thing. Me and Brother Galen, we trying to do the exact same thing when it comes to our survival. We are. We're starting to see things. There's a different spirit that's going around now. And brothers and sisters, they are acting on it. They are being about their business because now they're seeing on the horizon troubled times. And the people that they are concerned with are their brothers and sisters. This is what the world do not want you to do. They don't want you to give consideration or think about your brothers and sisters that you may not know of, or you may not have spoken of or did anything for. You may not have ever seen them a day in your life because they do not want you to sit up here and strike up a bond with somebody who looks like you, kinky hair and all. They do not want you to do that. They're going to need that distraction wrapped around you like so tightly that everything is all about you. Don't you do nothing for nobody else. You do you. Doing you can get you destroyed off the top. It can get you disciplined by the Most High. But when you're looking out for people He loves, you have the grace of the Most High wrapped around you. This is the reason I'm saying it, because this is not that time for a selfish movement. It's not. And for those that's out there that's looking at this as a money grab, I feel sorry for them, and I'll be very cautious of dealing with a person in that respect. That's just my take on that. That can be very dangerous. Very dangerous. We need to start concentrating more on us as a nation. And it might sound like it's absolutely impossible. It's not. It can be done. It can be done. Getting along with your brothers and sisters, yes, it's going to take wisdom. It's going to take discernment. But as we see what's happening, talking about our brothers and sisters is not going to fix anything. Going against our brothers and sisters is not going to heal nothing. It may put you up under some judgment with the Most High, but that's one thing it may put you up under. We got next. What is wait a minute, didn't you tell me about that Project Coast sometime last week? Because I most definitely forgot, man. I got tired of some things over here, man. I did. There were some things I had to take care of. These people had me running like a chicken with my head cut off. It's called Project Coast. Sisters, Dorian, you know what? Let me do it this way. I'm gonna post it. I meant to get, I got up early and then I started moving around and trying to take care of some things. Let me see. Hold on, sis. Come on, man. What I need to do this? Hold on, that's it. Boom, boom. Alrighty. Let's see. There you go, Sister Doreen, or anyone else that want to come on. I just posted the link, the StreamYard, and that's the link where you can come on in. But now, brother, we got next. You know what? I wish you can come on and explain what you found out. Yes, Project Coast Bio Weapon Program. You know what, brother? This is Satan's system. I'm serious. He doing any and everything out there. All right. Okay then. But he's doing everything, brother. If you can come in and explain what you found out, then it'll be very much appreciated. I tell you, but it's happening. These are the things that's happening. And this wisdom, brothers, I'm telling you, If wisdom, I ain't gonna say wisdom new to you, but if this is some, because don't get me wrong, I pray to the Most High for funds. Money looking funny, pray for funds. But once you literally sit down and you think about things, no, I need wisdom. I need to know how to move this stuff around more so than getting it. You can get $1 million and blow it in less than a year. The program was to design a race-specific bioweapons to only attach to melanated people. I tell you, you got to be joking me, brother. Man. But all of these things that's against us. When I say against us, I'm talking about for brothers and sisters that may be against us. It would appear that we are hemmed up. It would appear that we are absolutely hemmed up. But we're not. But as long as we are in captivity, we're going to need wisdom, discernment, in order to navigate navigate through it. Avoid pit drops. You know, these are the things we need. I tell you. It's becoming more concerning to us. And it's going to lead us to calling out to the Most High. Now, if you want to take this as a fear tactic, well, brothers and sisters, I cannot control how you think. But if the Most High can sit up here and tell you what's going to happen in the last days, and you have a person the Most High may be using to say the same thing, what's the difference? The only thing that is that person is reading from the Bible, our book, warning our people of some impending danger. But they'll call that person fear mongering. Ain't that somehow the devil can step up? Oh, you fear monger. And he the most fearful person on this planet. But he can get his spirit wrapped up in individuals. And I'm talking about Hebrews. He's fear mongering. She's fear mongering. But they're reading from the scriptures. This is what the Most High said is going to happen. Truthfully, when you brothers and sisters say that about brothers and sisters, if it's based on scriptures, you may find yourself going against the Most High. That's the thing. And we want to be very cautious of that. Because all a person is saying when he's preaching fear doctrine, or whatever the situation they want to call it. Yes. Boom. There you go. That's it. Because all they're trying to do is lighten your spiritual alertness. They're trying to take that fire that you got, that you brothers and sisters have, and dim it down. If they can get it extinguished, the devil will try his best to get it extinguished. That's his MO. That is exactly what it is. If he got to use your mother against you, he will try his best to use his own mother against you, your father, your brother, your sister. They don't care. They flat out don't care. He don't care, rather. You are a people that he knows for a fact that you are of the Most High. And he got this intense hatred against his creator. That's what he has. He's jealous along with the hatred of his creator. You want his position. That's what he wants. He wants the most highest position. And the fact that he can't get it, jealousy took his root in him, which led to him calling his creator a lie. And here we are, living in extremely last days. We are those descendants of those people who was disobedient, who allowed the devil to take his root in them, which pushed us, placed us in judgment. Truthfully, let's call it a judgment, but more so a cleansing. If we look at it, that's what it's going to boil down to being. It's going to boil down to a cleansing. Of course, we were spoken of before we was unfaithful. You notice when the Most High was talking to Abraham, he did not say the reason why we was going to go into slavery. He didn't mention nothing about disobedience to Abraham. He just told him there's going to be some dark times for your descendants. Dark times, extremely hard for these particular people. That's what he told Abraham. And then he said, after that 400 years, I'm going to judge that nation. And that nation is global. There are so many hubs of this one nation all over this planet. Along with its false teachers. They work hand in hand. That's what the Most High said to Abraham. And we're those people. We are those people that he spoke about that's coming out of that 400-year track. That's the beauty of it, brothers and sisters. That is the beauty of it. We are the ones who's witnessing this. Shalom, Sister Van P. That's the thing. That 400-year, and he told Abraham, brothers and sisters, if you think I'm joking, go back. What is it? Genesis chapter 15. I will start from verse 1, at least down to, what's it, 15? You see, you understand it. He did not speak about his descendants' shortcoming. He did not mention anything about they go get engrossed in sin and things. Now with Moses, that was a different thing. With Moses, yes, it was very different. He told them, "Oh no, these people they're going to start worshiping false idols and all of this here." The Most High went in on his people, but we are that people who was comatose for years. We was comatose. We didn't know who we were. We did not know who we were. We were trying to be like everybody else. Man, you had some brothers and sisters out here trying to be Mexicans. They thought when they learn how to speak Spanish, they even changed their living. So I knew some brothers had changed their dialect. We didn't know. You had brothers and sisters out here think I'm a Gentile. We didn't know. And you still have some that want to mimic the nations. When I say mimic, I'm talking about dipping their skin into some acid just to lighten it up. We didn't know. This is the cause of disobedience of our forefathers, which led down to this very day to which we and you are alive to witness this. And with this awakening, it is absolutely a privilege to be awakened at this particular time. I tell you, these are the things, brothers and sisters, that it should be very concerning to us. This is it. The Most High is judge. What was it? It was a place in was it Hawaii? I think it was in Hawaii. And there's a volcano there. They said this thing has been active for 10 days. That was a few days ago. And it never was like that. They said for 10 days straight. When the Most High said he's going to judge this nation, brothers and sisters, there are a lot of hubs to this nation. A lot of them. And this nation is tied in with false religion across the board, which it has its hands also in. Going to these churches, what do you see? You see the United States flag. They tied together. That's just me. I think they one and the same. I think Babylon is the United States as well as Christendom. I do. Both of them sits on many waters. Both of them are hand in hand. Is it not been said that the United States is a Christian country? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I tell you, this is this is the time to which we need to be really on guard. We must be on guard because it's not going to get better. And if it do give off that false sense of it's getting better, hey, that may be the time for you to get up and get out. That may be that time for you to get up and get out. Make your decision and break camp. Shalom, Sister Zenobia. That may be that time for you to break camp and get up out of here. Same thing. I mean, well, I'm just going by past history. When the disciples of royal priesthood, Shalom, sis, Burkina Faso, well, since our truthfully, I have to say this. I've been around here trying to do. I mean, these companies got me doing background checks and everything. Then I got to go up here and do a drug test. So I was especially last week. I was running like a chicken with my head cut off. So I mean, I wasn't really into it, but at the same time, since I would have to say this about is that it made me think about some things while I was doing all this running, and I come to realize I got to be on guard to distractions, even if it calls for looking for employment. Although I'm running around here, I'm running around and taking care of business that need to be taken care of in order for these companies. I tread with a sense of cautiousness because I can see how this can take its toll because this position that they want me to take with them, it consists of a lot of driving. I have a let me see, a distance of um 350 miles. That's how far I can drive out to a site to look at some data equipment and things of that nature and repairing some wires and stuff. So I can see that being a distraction, but at the same time, it can, you can work it for a good thing. Oh yeah, they want me to do a drug test. I mean, whew, I have not came upon not one company yet that has not asked for a drug test. That's the thing. Now, Burkina Faso, and that's what this what I'm saying about that sister royal priesthood is that I haven't seen anything because I haven't had the time. But from the smaller things I've seen, he's still making moves. He's still making some moves. Now, lastly, France said that they're not recognizing this visa of three countries: Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. They're saying they're not recognizing that visa. Well, my thing on that is this here. So, period. It's just that simple. All right. The people who decide to get this visa, they can't use this visa to go into Europe. That's a pro. That is absolutely a pro for us. That's how that was served. It will serve as a pro. All right, no problem. I know not to come to Europe. France. Okay. Y'all niggas broke. You busted. And you showed the world that you can't be trusted. That's what they did. And with their history, they made a mark for themselves. That's what they did. Then now you have this two-headed eagle. They doing whatever they doing, trying, or at least claiming they're trying to do in South Africa. That's going to backfire. And any other thing that they're claiming that they're going to do to Yasharel, brothers and sisters, all they're going to do is keep on poking the Most High in the eye. That's all they're doing. And they're going to get pimp slapped. When it's all over said and done, some teeth going to be knocked out. Some teeth are going to be knocked out because they thinking that they can continue to move the same way through life, and the devil already knows. Y'all mess with this Elohim, he will wipe you out, but he don't care about his own people. He is literally fighting a lost battle. Lost battle. That's what he's fighting. That's what he's getting people all geeked up for. I mean, what? Make it fleshly. And they made it fleshly. Now, I have never seen in my lifetime a nation talking about an execution of a president. I'm like, wow, these people are bold. This one, and they even use what's that cartoon called? It wasn't too crazy about it. I watched it every now and then. What's the name of it? What's the name of that cartoon? Got it on the tip of my tongue. The Simpsons. The Simpsons. Now, I will say this: there are some things that's very eerie about the Simpsons. Very eerie. I never put it together. Somebody else broke it down. Say, hey, they said this some years ago, and this is happening now. Okay, but it's very eerie. It's very eerie. And they had one that was, talking about Trump being assassinated in one of the shows. And I'm like, okay. Well, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Satan knows what he's going to do. If he's going, I mean, what? Yeah, if he want to put it on TV and make a mockery out of it, make it a cartoon, he's going to do just that. He's going to do just that. And at the same time, now, Sister Zenobia, I'm going to come. Wait a minute, hold on. I'm going to come back to you on that because there's some things I'm seeing about these people who are answers. It's like this: they are placing themselves in different countries in different positions because you do know that the president, that lady, um, in Mexico, she too. She's ishy. It's like they're placing themselves in position. Oh, you seen it? Yeah. You seen it? Episode Van Pete. Yes. And so now, what all he's doing, what all he is doing, he's ruffling a lot of feathers. Yes, he is. When it comes to the average person, as well as some high-profile people, people are losing their jobs. People are being very concerned with how they're going to take care of their families, how they're going to pay for their private schooling. Oh yeah, he got these. He has people thinking now. He has people worried now. My sister called my mother and told my mother, and she said she's going to call the rest of the people that she know and let them know this is what's happening with them. Medicare or Medicare or Medicaid. Both of them are based upon the government. Brother, yeah, saint. And this is the thing. See, I don't want to make them people out to be no prophet either. That's one thing I want to be made known. I'm not making them out to be no prophet. But the devil or the issue, they're going to do what they've been instructed to do. And now, if this is what they have to do to make themselves to look out to be a prophet, they're going to do it. They're going to do those things in order to get the people mentally in tune with their footsteps. That's it. No, they showed this 10 years ago and this was going to happen, and it happened. Brothers and sisters, do you all know that the best way to get people's attention is by video? It is by video. That's how you get people's attention. Who owns the videos? Who owns the media? Yeah, like I say, that's it. The issue. They got it. They own it. They dictate how things have been displayed and things of that nature. Yeah, they are work. I mean, it's been more. It's been more evident as to who they are working for, who they are taking directions from. Period. Wait a minute. Hold on, sister. Wait, sister. Who go swoop in and save the folks? You talking about them folks? Shh, sis. Um, yeah, they can come up with their superhero all they want. Um, hmm, I tell you this though, this time in which we are witnessing, and it's going to appear, it's it's going to appear that we are seeking after a losing battle. But we're not, brothers. We're not going to be in that predicament. What we may see is just the illusion of the devil. He's gonna cause us. All right, yeah, all right. Let's just do it this way, brothers and sisters. Let's just say you a person who did work for the government. You lost your job. You can get unemployment now. You can't get unemployment. They cutting you off at the knees. Your last paycheck need to be divvied out over a few months. Now you got to start making some very decisive decisions for you and your family survival. Shalom, brother Dave. You got to be making some very decisive decisions. And at the same time, while you making no decision on how you're going to take care of your wife, your family, pay the mortgage, or whatever the situation may be, because they got us wrapped up in their system. No unemployment, Sister Pixie. They got us wrapped up in their system, and this is how they come and take the sheet, take the rug and snatch it from up under you. They're doing it now. They are doing these things. Since you woke up, you Negroes, you woke up. Niggas, this is how we get down. Snatch the rug from up under them. And all it's going to serve is just a distraction. Pick yourself up, stand up, and keep it moving. Pray to the Most High for wisdom, discernment, and you move in it. All right, we're seeing what's going to happen. You pull your family in, brothers. You pull your family in a huddle. It's real now. This is what's happening. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to cut back. This is what we're going to have to get rid of. But this is what we're going to have to do right now. Those are the conversations, brothers and sisters, we got to be having. Because trust and believe, if you do not work for the government, let's just say you do not work for the government, trust and believe, it's going to go downhill. The work that I do eventually is going to feel the effects of other people not working. It's all connected. What? People nowadays, what do? They call an order, they get Uber Eats, right? And they bring their McDonald's to them. And let's just say you may have been that person, working for the government or whatever. Those days are going to stop. You may think that you can do it for here and here and there, but trust and believe, eventually it's going to stop. That you go start using sense. Oh, wait a minute, I can't afford to be eating out of this restaurant like this. This stuff been costing me a few $100s a week. You could take the few hundred, you used to take those few $100s and go to the grocery store and get you something to eat. That's fading out. Now it's going to force you. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. I got to do something. My money is running out. That's the thing, brothers. And this is not no fear factor. This is absolutely looking up the road that's already here. Yeah, sister Kathy. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. 70% of the people that works for the government are black people, African Americans. 70. That's a lot of Negroes. That is a lot of Negroes. The post office is full of us. It's full of us. But I'm gonna tell you that this is their game plan, and they used it in the penitentiary system. All righty. If he kills a white person, I'll give him the maximum years. He kills another Negro, give him 6-7 years, because 9 times out of 10 he's going back to his own neighborhood. He's going to do the same thing again. He's going to be right back in our slave portal. That's what they're trying to do. They did this stuff back in the 60s and 70s when the brothers got out from Vietnam. They didn't come back to no jobs. They came back unemployed. They didn't come back with some respect. They came back with a great deal of disrespect. That's what the government gave them. The government looked out for its own. But if you was black, no, they didn't even thank you for your service. They didn't. Gave you some medals and made you feel a certain way. That's all they did. But that certain way of feeling, it faded out quickly. It faded out quickly. This is what this twisted system did and is doing. That's what it's doing. Hey, brothers and sisters. We have some very pressing decisions to make right now. I ain't talking about tomorrow. I am not talking about tomorrow. We're talking about right now. Brothers and sisters need to be having conversation with the families, whether they woke or not, because trust and believe. You don't have to be woke for your stomach to be growling. And and this is the worst time you ever want to, brothers and sisters, it's going to happen. You want to see some brothers and sisters when you tell me, getting your family together, sitting down, what you need to do. We know we're about to have some serious troubles. Start putting your game plan together. Start working on it right now. Whether you're in the office, you're working on this job, trust and believe it's going to go downhill. It's going to go downhill. I don't care what job you think you're working. It's going to go downhill. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that you say you're a police person. That is going to go downhill. The crime, brothers and sisters, they know what they're doing. When I say this is a, they used to use this stuff in black neighborhoods. We was the project. We were the project. They seen how we get down. And now, granted, they'll give you this. Hey, black people are strong people, resilient. They'll give you that. But then at the same time, they go turn back around. Hey, but it worked. Our project that we put up on them, it worked. So now we can use that against these people. We know that these people are, unusually strong. What do you think it would do to the average people out there? brothers and sisters, look at that. Look at that and see what they're doing. They're taking, they use us as guinea pigs, to which we already know this. They knew, hey, keep that black man unemployed. And they got in contact with these companies. Hey, look here, we need you to lay some Negroes out. Lay them off. They did it. They did these things. They seen the reaction of a man, father, not working in neighborhoods. Neighborhoods could have the lawns clean and be all decent and nice, but hey, let 10 or 20 years go by. It's a slum neighborhood. A slum neighborhood. They knew this. They planned that. But now, if you could take that on a global, oh, yes. These people we use prove to us it can work. We were the guinea pigs, brothers. We were the guinea pigs. I'm going to say were. Because a lot of these things already starting to turn. We woke. We praying for more wisdom, discernment. We praying to who? Our Elohim, our creator. And we claim him personally. That's that jealousy in us. And you're right, Sister Cynthia. They are getting hurt and they are considered collateral damage. Or the project, it worked. Well, I forgot what city this was in, where they have all those little drug addicts walking up and down the street looking like high zombies. But they out there, and it's bad. It is absolutely bad. And when they get dirty, they just look dirty. They look extremely dirty. So now, you think about how things are really going to look. Portland, there you go, Cynthia. That's what I'm talking about. And if any of you brothers and sisters out there, go onto YouTube, type in Portland and the drug epidemic. They land all on the street, the sidewalk, and everything. Amen. Brother Dave, Philadelphia, Portland, Oregon. All right. Okay. But yes, look them up. You'll see I'm telling you. And one of those cities, it's like they don't even arrest them for that. They be right there just doing. And then they was having a conversation one time. I kid you not, they was having a conversation. They said, "How many times do you flatten out?" And all that. What they talking about flatten out? Oh, they brought me back to life. When he said brought him back to life, I was like, what? Ooh, wee, good night. And some of you brothers, you all do not see these curses flipping. And the thing about it is, it's going to get a whole lot worse. It's going to get a whole lot worse. So now what they thinking they doing to us, but at the same time, they're going to try to do what they're going to do. But at the same time, this day going forward, brothers, just have that conversation with your family. If you got to start getting out here and building you some raised beds, gardens, so be it. Get out there and throw you a couple of potatoes out there, some tomatoes, and things of that nature. When the government cuts back, you do the same. You cut back on them. It's just called common sense to me. You break it down. But with us, it's difficult. because they always have this TV in front of us where you got buy 2 burgers, buy 2 chicken sandwiches, and all that stuff. We have to really like cut ourselves away from that line of thinking. Wait a minute, Denver, Colorado, Vermont, and Utah, all them tied up into that little. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't know it was that many cities. I only knew about one. And now, when you say Kingston, is that Kingston, Jamaica? Sister Monica? I hope not. I hope not. What is it? I tell you, brothers, and I know some of you, yeah, the fast foods. I mean, but let me tell you, this is Sister Zenobia. That's the generation that they brought about. Uber Eats, they order some food, boom, they bring it to them, boom. And that's how people make a living off of it and things of that nature. But when your money is starting to dwindle away, get shorter and shorter, trust and believe. Even a young individual will have to sit down and analyze his way of living. You can't continue to do that, especially when you don't have that money to do it. Oh, all right. Kingston is here in Philly. Okay, all right. I tell you, the Most High, he warned us. Did he not? He warned us. He said it was going to be food shortage. He warned us about these things. That's a warning. So now, he warning us, hey, this is what's going to happen. Brothers and sisters, we need to start putting things together. I know Sister Van P, she grows some of her food. But brothers and sisters, the Most High said what's going to happen, and it's going to happen. Put yourself in a position to where you won't be affected in that. Put yourself in a position, if you say, you know what, I got a pretty big backyard, I can do some things. I lost my job. Let me get me some seeds. Watch a little, go to YouTube University and see how can I do this here? How can I do that there? And brothers and sisters, there's a lot of stuff on that YouTube that you can get, that you're going to come to understand how to do different things. And at the same time, I wouldn't let everybody know what I'm doing now. I mean, because people, they go to get hungry. When they get hungry, they become thieves overnight. Whatever you can can it up. Can it up. If you know for a fact that your money is about to look funny, put yourself in a position where you don't have to say, you know what? The Most High blessed me with wisdom, and I use that money to do this here. And matter of fact, I sell some of my foods that I grow. Okay, Sister Van P. I mean, we all got that way, Sister Van P. I did that too. I mean, I was growing potatoes and everything. Potatoes, tomatoes, what else? In the house. And I was just playing with it. But I'm saying, it's going to help us in from this day going forward. Like I was saying yesterday, I think March or April is when you're supposed to start planting your seeds and everything and all that. And we need to start looking into that, brothers, because I'm telling you, this is not no fear factor, because it's coming from scriptures. The Most High said it's going to critical times, hard to deal with, We'll be here. Mm, okay, we here. It's happening. This is a warning. This is the warning. Brothers, no matter how you look at it, you may not be used to it. That ground that you walk outside when you go walk into your vehicle and you see the grass on your front yard, that's how our forefathers fed themselves from that ground. Anytime you look down at that ground, that's how we got fed. Now it's that time where you may have to pull back, even with your kids. Come on, we're gonna go outside and we're going to start playing with some. Brothers and sisters, if you got to start small, start off with a little red cup or something with a seed. Your kids, hey, put that seed there, and put, hey, I need for you to watch this and take care of this plant here. That's your nursery, but you're teaching your kids something. And at the same time, brothers, you're not going to be working yourself to death, but you're going to show your kids, hey, I need for you to pay attention to this particular plant. Every day you come back in from school, I need for you to, before you leave, water it a little bit and take care of it. Make sure that it continues to grow and things of that nature. You're putting your kids up under something, brothers. Because eventually, that child is going to come to recognize one thing. This is what, hey, this is going to feed me. They're going to start to notice that you're not going back and forth out the house. When they come back home, they go see you home. You go be a strange object when they get home from school, brothers. You're going to be a strange. Wait a minute, Daddy, is he on vacation or what? But we ain't going nowhere. This is what's going to happen, brothers. This is what's on. It's going to happen. And we should be taking this a whole lot serious than what a lot of people are doing. I tell you what, when I ride up and down the street with my cousin, he going to these different sites to fix different equipment. He don't have a worry in the world right now. He does not. He does not understand the gravity of what's going on. All he's saying, man, Trump is messing up a whole lot of stuff. That's all he knows. That's the furthest he goes, as well as his brother. Same way. They do not understand the depths of what's being put in place. They do not understand. And they're not the only ones. We got a whole lot of family members out there just as naive to what's going on right up under their own nose. That's that spirit, that witchery that this system is using against our brothers and sisters. Because once it hit the fan, and that money they call a credit card or that 401 has evaporated within days, everything is going to go through their minds. How am I going to get my medicine? How am I going to feed my family? How am I going to pay my mortgage? How am I going to pay my car note? It's going to be how can. How can is going to be, whoo, I need to get me a shirt and say how can. And with a question mark behind it. And I would not be surprised that self-deletion would jump up overnight. I would not be surprised. Let that happen. Hey, brother, they already want what? They want some people off this planet. Well, Sister Kathy, I'm gonna wish the best for our people. And like I said, I mean, I got tied up yesterday, but today, no, I will be calling you and your husband, and for us to, strategize with our brothers and sisters because it's going to happen. It's going. I don't care what nobody's talking about. We can talk about a collapsing system all we want. The Most High has told us what's going to happen. And I'm not trying to sit right here and play that dumb role. If he tells me this is what's going to happen, he's telling me, already, put yourself in a position. Put yourself in position so that you do not end up in a starving position. Because he's going to look, I told you I was coming and this is what's going to happen. These idiots are going to cause a food shortage. I told you these things, Israel. I woke you up a few years ago. I tell you, I woke you up a few years ago, and this is what happens. Shalom, Sister Doran. You hear me? You on mute. Sister Doran.
I'm here.
All right. All right.
I'm having a crazy morning this morning.
Hey, sister, let's not talk about crazy because I'll be around here to pop me some pills.
I completely overslept, but I woke up at like 1 a.m. or something. And when I finally went to sleep, I don't even know what time it was when I went to sleep. And I woke up and I'm like, oh my God. And I knew you were on. And I'm like, okay, let me get connected. Then I couldn't connect to StreamYard. And okay, crazy morning.
I understand, sis. You ain't got to tell me. It's
Yeah.
going to happen. But no, we were just talking about. You seen what I was talking about?
Yeah, I've been listening, and ever since Sunday, I saw you on. I saw you Saturday and Sunday on Sister E's.
Oh yes,
channel. She had her live.
Yeah,
and after Sunday, I was just thinking how this is impacting us. Of course, I'm going to think how it's impacting us financially.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been hearing you talking about we need to start growing food and things of that nature. The biggest thing, they have our mind. And I'm talking collectively. I'm not talking about individually.
Mm-hmm.
So by doing things like putting our jobs in jeopardy, it puts us in a panic state.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this stuff about growing our own food, and it goes out the window because now we're just in panic and survival. And that's where they want us right now. It's like they see us pulling away and getting stronger. So now the thing left is go after the livelihood, to keep you connected, to keep you tied here.
Mm.
And I think a lot of us are missing that point. So you're no longer connected to or thinking about how to get out of this system, but now you're thinking, who do I go to in this system to help me? Like unemployment and other sources, general assistance, whatever you're looking at to get some help to survive.
Well, they're cutting all those systems out. I mean, it's like once you out on, I mean, once they get rid of you, you out there, you all by yourself. I mean, don't come to the government looking for food stamps. They're already saying that they're not going to give it.
I
Don't come to the
understand that,
government.
which is all part of it. You understand what I'm saying? So if they cut off all of your avenues for getting help,
Mhm.
that then out of desperation, where do you turn?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, this is what I'm looking at. I mean, I hope it's not getting out of a desperation, because I'm looking at the fact that the Most High warned us. And my thing is, let's take His warning and apply His warning to right now, and to put ourselves in a position that we don't have to be talking about in a desperate mode, that we're in dire straits. That's what I was looking at.
And I understand where you're coming from, Brother Mike. I just think so many of us did not heed those warnings a year ago, and even if we heard it, we didn't take action. I'm seeing the number of people that are even taking action off of the words that I said.
Mm-hmm.
We keep, I don't know, for whatever reason, we keep thinking we have time.
Oh no, since we ain't got that. I mean, we already late to the party.
I understand that. It's not stopping the fact that that's what's going on, though.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, I am so down about what's going on, because, like you said, they know what they're doing, and they know they have mastered how to keep us distracted.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I say collectively, that doesn't mean every one of us is distracted, but a lot of us are. And when you're in that state, again, you're not thinking about what I should grow food now. I should do this now. All of the things that I need to do to help me is the last thing that's on the person's mind or on our minds.
Well, that's true.
Somebody else comment on that. I may be wrong. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would say this, sis. I'm gonna let somebody comment on that one.
Which
And I
one?
think I would say that. Hold on, just for a moment. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, and while Brother Mike is on hold, the other thing that has really been consuming my thoughts is, I know, let me see, who is this? Sister Zenobia. And I understand we're supposed to be a light, and I get that. And I just wonder, what kind of light are we shining right now? Is it that it's time to leave? We need to band together. What kind of light are we shining right now? Exactly. Exactly. And so I'm concerned that our brothers and sisters who are not awakened, and even some of those that are, I'm telling you, when you start messing with livelihoods, and that's the whole thing of not understanding how money works, that's how they've got the biggest grip. So when they snatch money from you, you don't know what to do, because our go-to place was, okay, go to the government. And now they're snatching all of that from us. Where do you go? We haven't prepared financially for this. And so now, for those who don't know, coming to others who may know, I'm not sure, but can many of us help financially without hurting ourselves? So shalom, is that Sister Kathy?
This is Sister Kathy. How are you?
I'm great,
Shalom,
Sister
shalom.
Kathy.
I really don't know what I'm doing right now. Galen stepped out, so I don't. Galen, would you come here for a minute, please? Do yeah, my how do you do my avatar?
I don't know how to do the avatar. We have to
Okay,
go back
well
in.
then,
You want to take it off?
well
Can you?
I don't mind being on it, but it's twice.
No, it's not. That's always like that.
Oh, okay.
Here with me because you are my.
Sister Doreen, I didn't hear the last part of what you said. You said Sister Zenobia said that how do we get ready? No, to be a light. And you
How do
said,
how do we shine our light?
mm-hmm.
And
And
I
the
was
last,
saying, from the standpoint of, um, believe it or not, they have control of our livelihood. And by us not understanding how money works, they really are pulling the strings at this point. So when they pull everything out from under your feet, and you don't know where to go, you're looking for help. We can be that light, and we can help. But how much can we help without hurting ourselves, because we don't have the proper understanding of how money works?
right. And we also don't have all the resources. But I was always taught, use what you have. Use what you have. Galen and I, we don't have a lot of money because we put most of our money into this farm. We put everything into this farm. And until the Most High tells us to leave, we're going to have to do the best we can with what we have. And that's what we're doing. But another thing, I never ever thought that, the desire to leave this country would enter into my mind, because I'm born here and that my family is here. But as the years go by, I despise this nation. I despise it so much, until the point where it's like, I don't want to lose my mind. And so the thought of leaving is becoming more and more appealing to me, especially since you can go to a different part of Africa and live well. We don't have to struggle. And I know many of us are tired of struggling. I'm grieved at the death that our people are going through by the hands of the police. That has grieved me, to the point where, I'm like, Abba, what do we do? Because I really don't want to walk around grieved. And so it's like, okay, so, we've got to do something. Galen and I, we've got to do something. And like I said, until the Most High gives us the okay, to go, we're going to be here doing this. But in the meantime, are there other strategic plans that we can think of to do? There are organizations in Africa, that, help people do a transition. We have friends in Ghana. I didn't want to go to Ghana. They've asked us to come, but it was just something, I just didn't want to go there. But there are other places in Africa, and you don't have to be a millionaire to get ready to go there. Let me tell you something. These white people are going to our country by the droves. And it's not like they're waiting for the Most High to say, tell me when to go. They go and they live good. Why can't we have that same mentality? They're not all rich. And I'm sorry for talking so much, but that's what I'm feeling. Why can't we go? Why can't some of us go to prepare for other ones to go? Because, like I said, I despise this place.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you. I mean, I started to get. I mean, the Most High started stirring me up in 2018. I had a strong desire to go to Africa. You know, and then to eventually, I went to Morocco, stayed there for like a week, almost over a week. Then I ended up going to Tanzania and things of that nature. Now I'm like, now I see why. You know, and I'm liking what you're saying, sister, because when I was there, I mean, the Gentile, they walk about as if they do not have a worry in the world there. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is how they do. And then they go over, they go over there, and it's the game is so rigged. And until you could take an individual of another nation that will go there, have kids there, put property in that child's name. I mean, now listen to what I'm saying. This is what they do. The mother and the father who is not a resident, but that child is. And that's how they get all their farms and everything set up under their child's name. There are some things that we can put together. I mean, whether you're still in Babylon or whatever situation may be, it can be done. But it will spark up this sense of, well, how can we do it? How can we do this here? Because this is where you're taking a nation who is not used to being a nation, who is not used to working together. That's what we have to do, is start to get used to working together. And hey, I mean, what they doing right now is, well, like Sister Doreen was saying, well, back in the days when things, got hard, you can fall back on the government. The government saying, you go bounce right up off of me because I'm not giving you nothing. And this is what the government is saying.
And
so now,
we shouldn't, our dependency should not be on this evil demonic place. It should not be on this government. This government has already told us and shown us that we are despised by it. So we've got to have some other kind of strategy that we go by, and stop being bewitched, because we're bewitched as a people. And those that are awakened, we have to do better. We have to do better.
And I thought the things that I was talking about was, in my mind, our way of getting out of the system. We have to learn how to provide for ourselves outside of that system.
Yeah.
We don't know that. So I must tell a story. I've been listening to so many different YouTube channels that have that talking about that are awakened. And I remember some years ago that what's the name? I think it's Sister Deborah Yah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They had all that plot of land, and it was like, come and stay on our land, and the very people almost destroyed them. Yes. Because we don't understand how to work together. They've ruined our minds in that area, and so to say we got to come together, it's opening up a can of worms we're not looking at.
Why not?
I know we shouldn't be dependent on the government, but we are. We gotta get our minds on how to make this work for us, which is what I'm trying to share with everybody.
Mhm.
Well,
It comes down to that money. It comes down to how to make that work so I don't have to depend on them. And
But let me
so
well,
pose some. Let me pose something to you on the money side.
yeah.
But if the how the money works when the system is shutting down and the dollar is just like is about like suicidal. I mean, how that because I'm looking at it's going to get to a point where it's going to serve no purpose. Am I
It
wrong?
is. It is. And that may
okay.
be the tactic
Okay, go ahead.
that the Most High is using to stir up his people. You know, everybody think Donald Trump is running this, but the Most High is running this. And he's going to do what he has to do. He knows his people. He knows how messed up we are, how stiff-necked we are, how, sometimes lazy we are. And he's putting these people in the position to make us depend on each other and not this government, to make us start thinking, hey, you know what? It looks like I'm not going to be able to have all that I thought I would need. What else can I do? He's going to make us do what we need to do.
And I totally agree with that. I don't know what to say. I'm not saying depend on this dollar or any dollar. That has never been my my intention. It has never
Sure.
been. And I've
Mhm.
said on every live that I've done, I've said it's a mindset thing that I'm trying to go after, not trying to get you dependent on this dollar that's going down. We spend
Right.
too much time worrying about the dollar going down and the this and the that. It's all the same thing that's keeping us in this mindset of desperation or instead of understanding it's the mindset of us. Yes,
Those
it's great to say we need to work together, but how many times have we come together and it's been pulled apart? And I get it that the Most High is pulling us together. I do agree with you 100%, 150% that that's what's going on here. I totally agree with that. We have to get disconnected from all of this outside things that are going on. I completely understand that.
Mm.
But I was
maybe
prepared also, for what I'm seeing happen to people that are stepping up and saying, let's come together, let's pull it together. And then we go and we almost destroy them. I would hate to see even something like Sister Kathy, you say, okay, well, come here, be on our line. We've got food and this, that, and the other, and it ends up a group takes advantage of you, and now you can't help anymore. That's all I'm saying. It's a mindset of knowing how to move about such that we become an asset for you and not a liability. And that's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about trying to make somebody rich, wealthy, or any of that, but it's a mindset. You talk about the whites that go over to Africa. I'm sitting here hearing, people on other channels talking about, I'm ready to go. I just can't afford it. They may not be rich, but that somehow they affording to get over there. A lot of us can't even get there.
I don't have all the answers. I really don't. But I know, just the thought of if you worked on a job for 20 and 30 years and you lose your job and you say, I have nothing after that, something's absolutely wrong with you. You cannot be on a job for 20 and 30 years and have absolutely nothing.
But that's what's happening. Let me tell you something from what I see here. I've seen people that have been on jobs for forever, and they had a 401k and all of that. But guess what? They needed some money, so they dipped into their 401k and they did this. And by the time they're ready to retire, all they have left is their Social Security. I'm watching this. It all sounds so like, I just can't believe this, but this is the reality. We didn't know the value to leave that money in our 401k because of how we saw that money. I'm putting this money over here now, but I need it because something happened over here. So I got to dip and I'll pay the penalty just to get my money out. I hear these stories.
Well, it has to be talked about, and because I tell you, it appears to me the Most High is just, I need to affect my people's pocket because they rely upon this money. I need for them to come together, and that's what I'm seeing, But it's like we gonna have to, we're gonna be forced. We're going to be forced.
And you know what, brothers and sisters, we have a lot of energy, doing frivolous things. Why don't we take some of that energy and do a little bit of homework? Find out what particular country or little town, let's say my husband and I, we're thinking about Zambia. Let's find out what is the money value to the American dollar. Let's say we found out $1 is like $28 in Zambia, and it could be in different places. Okay, go and visit for a little while. They have Airbnbs all over Africa. Go visit for a little while. And when you visit, scope out some things, scope out, job opportunities. But I've heard so many people say, don't go there looking for a job, go there to create a business. And I remember Sister Waters was saying, it's not as hard as we think. We have been taught to think, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, and white people have no problem. They have no problem, going to other places, scoping out things, gathering monies to go and explore. Maybe a group of us could do something like that. The Lord blessed us with talents, and creativity and innovative minds. Well, we could do this. We could do this.
And again, I say to you, that all sounds great, but everybody's not in your situation. How many people even on this live right now have enough money to even do what you're saying? We've been conditioned to spend everything we got. We go to work, we spend every penny we have, and it forces us to have to go back to work. This is what I'm addressing. We don't know how to even save money like that. In our minds, money is put aside for emergencies. A lot of us don't even have the money to take a trip like that.
Sister Dory, yes, we do. Yes, we do. We choose to do something different with the money. We go on vacations. We go on reunions. We buy TVs. We buy cars. Yes, we do have the money.
And that's all I'm talking about. Sister Kathy is trying to get them to see we do have the money and stop spending it on those things. This is what my whole thing is about. That's a mindset that I'm trying to show people we have to change.
I understand. You're right. I'm in agreement with you.
Here. I'm not trying to turn anybody to get wealthy and live here and live off of this. It's a mindset. If we think we get money and we go buy TVs and all of that to live comfortably. Do you think because we move to Africa, that's going to change your mind? No, you're going to be looking to do the same thing there. We have to get out of that thinking this is what they've got us in. It's not even the money, it's our minds that they've taken over and twisted so that we think. That was the very first thing I said. We think our money is our reward, and we don't know that the money is our seed. We need to plant it somewhere to get that to grow so we can do things beyond spending our last. But a lot of us
I'm
are
agreeing.
spending
You're right.
everything.
Absolutely. You're absolutely
My
right.
whole thing on this thing, ever since I've been on I responded to a conversation that was going on that brought me onto this platform in the first place. Is there's too many of us living like that. That's all I'm saying. It's too many of us living like that, and we think that's okay. That's the problem.
Well, I mean,
It's not.
it's like what Sister Hazel said. When it's all over said and done, truthfully, it's going to be about fear. We cannot be entertaining fear and giving strength to fear. I mean, I know what Sister, I know what both of you sisters are saying, and that's the whole purpose of that. I mean, if an individual chooses to travel to Africa, that is absolutely your prerogative. And I can't talk down and I can't say you shouldn't do that and things of that nature. No, I'm not going to say that. And if the Most High is moving you to get out, you need to listen to him. It's just that simple.
And you know what? It's not about, and not everybody is afraid. Like I said, I hate this place. I despise it. And I don't want to be here anymore. It's not a fear. I just hate it because I'm thinking, sometimes you could just be at a point where it's like, Abba, if you don't do something, something's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that.
Mm-hmm. And I completely understand that. And like I said, I feel the same way. You have no idea how much I want to get out of here, how much I have been treated so disrespectfully by these other nations. They despise our intelligence.
They do. They do.
I don't think I don't see that. But I'm also seeing how we're tearing each other down. And it's all around not understanding money. I'm telling you, I'm seeing it. And it doesn't impact you. Sister Kathy, you want to go? I'm ready to go. But how many of us are in that position right now? Because we did not manage our money.
Income tax time is coming. A lot of us gonna have some money then. What are we gonna do with it?
That's gonna run out. Then what? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying.
Can I say something? I'd like to interject here just a little bit. And I totally appreciate the passion. My name is Galen, by the way. I'm Kathy's husband. And I really just standing back, and I just got finished figuring all our taxes and stuff like that. Let me give you, sisters and brothers, a for instance of the kinds of things. And there are so many brothers and sisters now who are doing creative things. Sherry Peel Jackson out of Atlanta has a group that is actively going to Costa Rica. Costa Rica is another one of those places that has a lot of reciprocal stuff with the United States. But let me give you a for instance of what we have discovered about Zambia. Also, I think Sister Kathy mentioned this. We invested literally hundreds of thousands of dollars into this farm. We are $50,000 in the hole. All we have for income is our Social Security. But the Most High has been giving us our daily bread every day. We have not lacked for a thing. But for instance, in Zambia, $1 US is worth 28 over there. If if you're 55 and older in Zambia, you can get a retirement visa.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is have $1,300 or more per month in retirement income, where that comes from your Social Security, a pension, whatever. It doesn't matter how it's made up. Another thing that's important about knowing about Zambia in particular, the young lady, well, the husband and wife team that Kathy was telling you about, that we learned from Brother Mike, Brother Theo, and Sister Waters, she's anemic. The healthcare in Zambia is really good because most of those doctors go to the UK to get their medical training. She's anemic. She had to get a iron infusion. She just told me this yesterday morning. On their expense, it was $12 to go to the hospital, $1 for the bag of she already had her own iron. It was $1 for the IV bag and $1 for the tubing. She paid $14 for an iron infusion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing we found out about like going to Zambia, because we said earlier that the exchange rate is 1 for 28. You can get a 3-bedroom house, fully made, ready to go, ready, turnkey, for $27,000. $27,000. You can go to Zambia. I know it's not ready yet. I know. You can go to Zambia and live really, really, really good on $500 a month. $500 a month. That is 500 times 12 is what? 72. That's $7,200 a year. $7,200 a year for rent and basic food. Now, is it lavish living? No. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's lavish living.
But you don't have to worry about the police killing you.
Hold
you don't have to worry about a lot of things like you do here.
Yeah. The other, and I know I'm trying to get my wife to calm down because we got another appointment in just a few minutes. But the other thing that the people were talking about is you don't, like Kathy was just saying, your relationship with the police is completely different than it is here. In fact, it's like the relationship white folks have with the police here. They talk to people. They said you hardly ever see a policeman riding around.
And it's every other race of people there too.
And there are people from all over the world. Lusaka is a world-class city. My son is a Korean national. When I was stationed in Korea 37, 38 years ago, I had a son. I didn't know he even existed. But I'm saying this to say, my wife and I were telling him that we're really contemplating moving to Africa. You know what his first response was? There's nothing there, because that's what they think. But there are a bunch of Koreans already over there, bunch of Chinese, people from Russia, people from all over the world are there. I went on, because I'm a retired professor of Bible and theology and leadership. So I just started looking at universities. They got world-class medical schools and universities and law schools right there in Lusaka. So all I'm saying is that, and sister, I don't remember your name,
Doreen.
Sister Doreen, you are 100% correct. It's our priorities with money that's the issue. I guarantee you, if every Black person in this country took 40 minutes and wrote down, where did my money go this month? Sit down at the end of February and just write down, where did my money go? You'd be shocked, sad, and appalled, like Sister Doreen is saying, where your money went.
And
Money
that's
is
what I
only
said my next live was going to be about. I told them it wasn't going to be about coming up with a budget. It was going to be about financials and looking at where we are financially.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the whole next thing was going to be about. I'm on the same page. I'm just looking at all the ones that have no idea. They long for those kind of things, but they long to go to Africa. They understand how I can live off of less there.
But it's our
However,
job, Sister Doreen.
we have not been conditioned to look and see opportunities. It's
Right.
just, you know what I'm saying? And
But it's our
that's what I
job.
was-
It's our job to teach them and show them. Like I'm going. I'm gonna talk. Mike and I need to talk today after this call, and I got things. But
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
going.
gonna give you a call, brother. I'm most definitely gonna give you a call.
Call me at about 1 o'clock because I've got 2 appointments right after this. But I'm going probably the first week of May.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly where that money's coming from, but I'm working on it. I'm going. But I'm going. When I come back, and even while I'm there, I'm going to be doing lives. I'm going to be showing land. I'm going to be showing the opportunities. We've been thinking about doing different businesses. 12 acres of land. We have to get off the phone right after this. 12 acres of land, farmable land in Zambia is $200. $200.
Mm.
Now, I know from just being on YouTube and having land here what we can do. We got 34 acres. I know what can happen. And these people will work. This Sister Waters and her husband Theo told us these people will cut your grass with a machete and make it look better than if you used a lawnmower. And those men will work at a price. If we go over there and pay them 5% more of what they're getting, you'd have workers for life because it's reasonable. But we have to tell people. I tell people all the time as an educator, if you really want to start making some differences, start talking to third graders. Start talking to people whose ears are open. I got a guy called a son. His name is Ronnie up in Cincinnati. I'm going to talk to him when I see him, but I pretty much know Ronnie is probably not going to hear going to Africa. He's going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to talk to him anyway. But we got to get on this
hurry up and
point.
get on Zoom. What I want to say is, how many of us in this chat has a passport? Everybody's been hearing, get your passport, get your passport. How many people in the chat has a passport? That's the first place to start.
Yeah. But then at the same time, since I'm gonna tell you this now, I will say this. The devil he's always in the mix. I mean, and don't get me wrong, but I'm saying this though. The Most High is stirring up his people. He's stirring up those for ones that wants to go to Africa. He's stirring up those that say, hey, I'm gonna wait on the Most High. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it either way. But for the brothers and sisters that share my mentality, to which, I mean, you know that I got to be back over there. That, yeah, I mean, my thing is this, looking to, open up a business, agriculture. And we're not the only ones, brothers and sisters, that's doing this. You got brothers from there that's coming from Brenton. Brent, it's a brother and sister that's there in Zambia. His his husband and wife, and they left. They lived in Great Britain. They came back to Zambia, and they opened up a farm. Mm-hmm. And they said they're hoping that not just the brothers and sisters there in Britain, they said also Americans They talk about a lot of things, how we've been indoctrinated with a whole lot of stuff. And they came there, opened up these farms, and now they doing import, export. This is what they're doing there now. And then they said when they got there, they made relationships with other brothers and sisters who doing the same thing. And brothers and sisters that was not doing the same thing, they got them into it. They said, this is where our funds come from. This is how we work together. That's the thing. And that's what a lot of brothers and sisters are preparing for other brothers and sisters who may not be into farming or whatever, but they preparing a way for you to come there and plant your roots, plant your seed there in the land. That's what they're doing.
And it's so affordable. I hear you can rent Airbnb maybe for 6 months, and within that 6 months, start thinking about, hey, what kind of invention or, what type of, how can I be creative? What kind of job opportunity could I create or, that could bring me income, or pay up the Airbnb for maybe a year. It's not as much as we think. The thing is just, getting boots on the ground,
Yeah, that's what it boils down to being. But I'm gonna just tell you what I've decided to do myself. And I do know, and from the research that I found, and I said before I head back, I was looking into different types of machinery, and there's 3 major ones. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well, let me go ahead and put this money to the side, because I know once I get there, I'm going to buy this machine. I know that's going to be where I'm going to make my living off of all 3 machines. And then at the same time, I'm going to get into agriculture. I'm going to get into fish farming or whatever the situation may be. Mm-hmm. I know that's what I'm going to do. So, but more so to set it up where other brothers and sisters can come. They say, all right, Brother Mike is there. And it's just not me just building a house. I mean, it ain't like I got all that type of money like that. But when it comes, all right, let's start building these little, homes for brothers and sisters that decide to come there to visit. They know, hey, boom, I can follow. If you fell on hard times, trust and believe. I've been there. You brothers and sisters know what happened back in October. All right, we're not going, if brothers and sisters fall into that predicament, hey, we know we can fall back. We need to call Brother Mike. That's my mindset. That's my mindset.
That's giving back. Yeah, that's giving
exactly.
Back.
Exactly.
But they're not to come there with any foolishness. Come there with a mindset. What can I do? How can I contribute, to each other and for the kingdom of the Most High? Like I said, we don't have a lot of money at all, but we have land. We're what they call, Sister Doreen, cash poor, but land rich.
I'm completely familiar with that. I am not broke. I can go right there today with you. I have my passport. I have all of that. I wasn't looking. I was looking to serve those who are not in that position. And I know there's a lot of people that are not. If I've overstepped and I've taken people in the wrong direction, I respectfully step down. I will not say anymore. I understand what you're saying, and I know I'm there. I can leave any moment. I have the wherewithal to do all of that. Mm. I'm not doing this because I'm in that situation. I'm doing this because I've seen so many of us in situations where we're struggling. Mm-hmm. And because we did not value what we had, and we misappropriated and misused what we had, so we're no longer even in those positions. You know, I'm aware that all of that is going on over there as well. Like I said, I've been wanting to go myself, but it's just been a calling I felt on my life to reach back for those who don't know how to do that, who don't know how to get there, who does not understand how money plays into this, you know, and that's been it. But if it's been wrong, Brother Mike, I step back. I will not discuss that anymore.
No, it ain't wrong. Because truthfully, sister, when it's all over said and done, it was the most high that when it was something you posted on one day. You posted something. I said, man, I need to talk to this sister.
Hey,
and I think it was the next day. I'm sorry, say it again, Sister Kat.
Yeah, I've got to go. We got another appointment, but please let's revisit this again, okay?
Most definitely will. I'm gonna give you a call. He told me your husband told me give you all a call around about 1 o'clock, and I'm gonna do that.
Okay,
I'm gonna do just that.
Great. Bye, family.
All right, be in peace, sis.
Shalom. Bye, sis.
Yeah, I know. You know, sister, you're not in the wrong. No, I mean, as long as the system is still here.
Like I'm wrong. I feel like I'm being attacked.
Oh no, you're not being attacked.
Listen,
no.
Teach people to hold on to this dollar. That's not what I've been stressing. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Oh, no. You know.
Do you know how many people of our nation that I've talked to that not even interested in starting a business? I don't want to get into all of that and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
You know, we have been so misinformed about that. That's why I was trying to take the baby steps. When I'm a retired teacher, among other things. I just spent the last 8 years teaching these third graders that Brother Galen was talking about. I've been through all of that, but I'm sorry. I'm just out here in the day-to-day seeing what we are doing with our money.
Yeah.
And I can go and talk to them and say, you know, you can for $28 or whatever they were saying, for, you know, however small you can get over in Africa somewhere, you don't have to live. It doesn't cost that much to live over there. And that's great. And that's true. But I'm going after the ones that, oh, okay, I'll go over there then. But you don't know even how to make the money sustain. So now you go over there, you took your last, you bought this, you run out of money. I've seen it happen. And then you end up having to come back home because you ran out of money. I'm trying to teach us how to keep the money growing, sustaining, and working for you instead of you feeling or thinking you have to constantly work for it until something happens and it runs out. I'd hate to see people go over to Africa and okay, it's cheaper. So I can go over there and I can live cheaply and then run out of money. I heard something about, you know, like, okay, for Social Security, you can transfer. So they're already talking, if they haven't done it already, they're already talking about cutting off your Social Security if you're out of the country. Then what do you do? What about the people that are over there in Africa living off their Social Security and it's going to be cut off? Where do they go?
Sister, that's the thing I was looking at.
But we got to, if we're talking about helping our people, we got to get out of this bubble of just get there. It's so much more than that.
No, I see what you're saying. I understand, but I tell you, I mean, no, sister, for the last few weeks, I tell you, you taught me a lot. You did.
I'm not trying to hold anybody back.
No. You're not holding nobody back, sis. And I hope that you're not taking it that way. I
am because I'm not talking about get your money together to go to Africa. I feel like I'm being looked at as I'm giving the wrong information or I'm not.
No, because me and Brother Galen, we had that conversation about that, and Sister Kathy, she's very passionate about it because we know she don't like this system in which we live in, and she's
okay, but here's the thing. I don't either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't either. I'm probably more passionate about getting out of here than she is. I don't like it here either. You have no idea the things that I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, worse than being a quote unquote black country in this black person in this country is being a black person with intelligence. I have a degree in mathematics. I have over 40 plus years as a computer programmer. I sat and I put together systems for people, programming systems and apps for other nations. And they turned around and said, okay, give it to me like I'm some ignorant fool. You have no idea. But more than that, I don't want to see people left in this system.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could just show you how this system has you tied up, that's all I wanted to do. To give you the same opportunity that some of us that made different choices have. I left the teaching job because of how I was being treated at the school I was at. And it hurt me because I left a group of students from our nation that are being treated wrongly. But I wasn't in a position, I felt like I was in a bigger position or in a position to make a bigger impact doing this than staying at that school and fighting that by myself. Because I wasn't just fighting the other nations, I was also fighting against those that were not awake yet of our nation that was fighting me. I'm tired too. I'm ready to go too. I couldn't live with myself. If I got over there and all these are left here because they did not understand something that I have knowledge about. That's all I ever wanted to do. But I'm not going to do it if I feel like people are coming down on me as if I'm giving wrong information and I'm not leading you to Africa. I'm not leading you anywhere. I'm leading you to be in a position to go wherever you want to go.
I got you on that one, sister. Now I do. I mean, don't get me wrong, sister. I mean, like Sister Zenobia said, you know, she thank you for the information. I mean, I thank you too. I tell you, you said no. You plant your seed money. You don't use your seed money. You let that seed money let it grow. Just let it grow. Be patient.
Right? Here's the bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you lost every bit of that seed,
mm-hmm.
because you have learned not only how to get a seed, because ultimately when I finished this 5 weeks, it was about understanding that you are a business. So many of us don't want to be bothered with doing a bit. Your household should be set up like a business. If you were on the Zoom call Saturday, I already instructed them to start thinking in that matter. Because if you don't understand how business is run, and then you get over in another country and you're sitting up there saying, well, I have to think of ways to have money coming in, and then you're going to be looking for a job over there. And you're right back in the same situation. Hoping that, somebody gives you your paycheck so you can go and do the same things you're doing here. We have to understand every household is a business. You should have, what's your vision? What's your mission statement? What do your finances look like? How can you structure your finances to ultimately achieve your vision and to live out your mission? We don't look at any of that. And it sounds to me like Brother Galen and Sister Kathy, they are on that path, but so many of us are not. Because when you get there, it's amazing how the Most High takes your little and makes a lot. But he can't take nothing and make nothing. Well, he can. But even in that, we take and bring it back to nothing.
Got to make it grow.
This is all I'm trying to get us to see. We have to see it differently. Or the life you're living right here, you're going to live no matter where you go. That saying about you can take the ghetto out of somebody, but you can't take, or you can get the person out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto. It's the same analogy. No matter where you go, you gonna follow you. You gonna take you with you, and that includes the way you think.
Wow.
If anybody ever thought I was trying to get them to tie into this system, that was never my intent. Never my intent.
No, so like I said, I don't know. At least I don't think Sister Kathy was saying that either. And I think we're just looking at, when the conversation started off, I'm looking at the system and I'm looking at what's about to happen to our people. And we know how our people act when things start to look shady, things start to look more bleak. And what you said earlier, then we start to panic. So, sister, no, what you're saying is on point, relevant, and should be listened to, because it's going to happen.
And I understand that, Mike, but we got to get out of this. It's like, okay, let's do this. Oh my goodness, they just did that. And it just takes you completely away from, okay, let's do this. And you never do this, because now you got, oh, they're doing this over here. Okay, but let's stay the course, because ultimately that won't matter to you anymore. The Most High, whether you realize it or not, is getting us in position.
Yeah, that's true.
And trust me, we're either going to be, we're one of two people here now. We're going to be the ones that prepared our, what's the scripture in the Bible about the ladies who had their lamp, the oil,
the 10 virgins. The 10
That's
virgins.
where we are right now. I'm just trying to get us to a point where there's more of us who understand and get their oil ready for their lamp. And you have to sometimes come back to step one and work your way there.
I see what you're saying, sis. And I most definitely, I agree. I most definitely agree with what you're saying.
So for anybody that is interested in knowing that, I will continue.
Yes.
If you're not, and maybe this isn't for you, and I get that. Technically, it's not for me. I just have been put in a situation where I learned what was going on and was able to pass it on and help others. This is my contribution, I feel like, that the Most High has assigned me to do. I am not trying to deter anybody from going to Africa or anywhere else. I just want you to get there and flourish. Not get there and then want to come back, because you can't survive there either.
No, sis. And then, like I was saying yesterday, I think you need to be on here for like 3. It seems like it need to be 3 days now instead of 2, because it's what's the word? I can't say it's getting real. It's already real. Because yes, a lot of the brothers and sisters that's on this live, they're gonna have some family member that's going to be affected about what's going on. But at the same time, they're gonna need that encouragement, or they the refocusing of the mind, and let them know, hey, this, the refocusing of the mind when it's all over said and done. That's because that's what it's going to boil down to being. Because that panic mode is going to kick in.
And Sunday, I had heard about the email before Sister E did her live on it.
Oh yeah.
Since then, I have just been in constant prayer with the Most High. What's our next step? I know at this point, I studied psychology and human behavior. I know at this point, it's going to be hard for me to tell someone who's in a situation that they lost their job, they have nothing coming in, and they're looking for help to tell them the strategies that I'm talking about. The strategies that I'm talking about, people are willing to hear as long as they are in a position to where they can hear this. And when you're in a position where your life is on the line, meaning how am I going to eat? How am I going? It's hard to talk to somebody about, well, you need to take this step, because you revert back to what you know, what comes natural for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
for these people that are being put in that situation, they're reverting back to what comes natural to me. I need help. I need help. I need help. It's hard for me to tell them, well, if you get some money, put it here, or do something like this. Or it's hard to talk in that situation when people are in that situation. So I'm trying to talk to those who are not there, but we're getting there. I'm telling you, the Most High is causing all of this to come down to, do you have your oil in your lamp, or or enough to sustain you, or not? And that's how I take that passage in the Bible, not about having literal oil, but can you sustain yourself? And just having enough money to go somewhere may not sustain you if you don't have enough coming in. And even, well, I'll leave it there. I'm just saying, we need to know how to recognize opportunities, how to create opportunities. And it's not something you learn when you're working for someone else and having them pay you, or having that kind of control over you.
Mm.
I hate talking when I'm in this situation, because when I get passionate like that, I get anxious myself, and then I don't always articulate what I'm trying to say. But I see it, I know it, and sometimes we only talk out of our situation and assume everybody's there, and everybody isn't. Everybody isn't. I'm looking at even the information that I've given out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how many people even took me up on the first challenge. It's not easy changing. It's not easy.
Well, one thing we got to get used to, there's going to be a change. Whether it's going to be easier or it's going to be hard, it's going to be a change. And so now either we can break it down, start listening, buckle down. It's going to be one or the other. It's going to be one or the other. Or are we going to sink into fear or despair, thinking that this government is going to help you? It's going to be one or the other. You got to fall back on somebody. You make sure that you're falling back on the right person. That's what this is going to boil down to being. Period. Now we know what the Most High said. This is what's going to happen to this system. We know these things. Now, sister, you can sit up here and tell everybody about your education and things of that nature, and teaching, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what needs to be done, and things of that nature. That's going to be left up to an individual. It ain't what you said was wrong. It's what that individual wants to do. If that individual is deeply seated on his flesh, he's going to do exactly what his flesh is going to tell him to do. He's not going to listen to wisdom. He's not going to listen to that spirit too much. He may listen to you on the onset, but behind once you off the camera or whatever, he or she, well, I'm gonna do it this way. I don't think I want to wait that long for my money to build back up. Hey, and then they're gonna suffer the repercussions of their decision instead of them listening. When I tell you, sister, you helped me out a great deal. I kid you not. Because one thing I did learn about Tanzania, their money don't move as fast as the money here moves. They don't make as much money working a job like we do. And you may work in a factory, you don't get paid the same what you get in the United States. So now when you talk about going there and you getting a job there, get used to it. You may be working 12 hours and come back home with let me see, 50,000 shillings. 50,000 shillings is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. $25 for that day. Are you ready for that? See, that's the thing you have to look at now.
But that's the whole point of what I'm saying. We don't know that. All we hear is it's cheaper to live over there. And so when we get over there and then we go look for a job and we getting $25, it's like, what's this? Because all we know is what we did here.
Yeah, exactly.
You
and that's all we know.
And now we're disappointed, and now they mad at you all for having them come over there, and you didn't say it was gonna be like this, and da da da. And I've seen this over and over and over again. That's what I was typing when I was typing that when you said, wait, who is this? This is what I see. We're given part of a story, and we go with the knowledge that we have. And then we get over there, and because we heard it's cheaper over there, but didn't hear, you're gonna have to work 12 hours, and you may only get the equivalent of $25 because you can't talk 50 shillings. Because do you know what that means when most of us hear that? Oh, what did you say? 50,000 shillings?
Yeah, 50,000 shillings is $25.
That sounds to me like 50,000. Oh, I'll be rolling in money. 50,000 shillings. That's probably equivalent of $50,000.
Yeah, they're gonna have a rude awakening then.
What I'm saying exactly. But you over there now,
mm-hmm.
And now you done got this rude awakening that 50,000 shillings means $25. And you now then took your last money to go over there. You invested in a living quarters wherever you living at, and it requires the equivalent of $100. So now what you gonna do when you working and getting the equivalent of $25?
Exactly.
You just as broke over there as you were here. I'm trying to get us out of that mindset. Until you know how to make money move to make it work for you. And I'm saying the mindset of that. Because if your mindset is working for somebody else and you get over there and you're working for somebody else and it's not working for you, it's no different than being here. Because your mind hasn't changed yet.
Right.
So I'm not trying to take us to level 8. I said this from the beginning. It's the baby steps to get us there. We want the end result. And then when we realize all these steps, the things that we missed on our way to that level, now we upset. And we play the blame game. Well, you should have told us. You should have did this and you should have did that. Now you sitting up here wondering, well, man, why is everybody mad at me and this, that? All because the whole picture wasn't explained. And we already looking for the the end result. Just like I told you on my first day, I was hosting this cash flow game. All people were focused in on was the end result. They didn't even see the steps that it took to even get you in the game to get to the end result. And all I'm doing is teaching us the steps that gets us in the game that'll get you to the end result.
I got you on that, sis. I got you on that.
I'm not trying to teach you. I've said it again, how to hold on to this failing money and all. If anybody was on the Zoom call Saturday, I showed you exactly how we're losing money. Anybody that was there chime in, I showed you exactly how you're losing money and the urgency to understand this, to prepare. I see all of this. I'm not trying to say, oh, yeah, you should make more money. Well, it's losing it. Not the point. We could get over to any one of those African countries and something happens and their money goes down and it loses value and it ends up going to nothing. That's not promised to us either, that it's going to be glory, hallelujah days. And just to think that we go over there and turn that whole, wherever we end up going, turn that into this capitalistic society that we got here, because that's all we know. Because now we tarnished that new area. Guys, there's so much to understand about this. And it sounds like Brother Galen and Sister Kathy have an understanding of this. And I think that's great. It's just so many of us that do not.
I think that along with myself and them, I think for me, I'm looking at it. We're like those seeds. And me and Brother Galen, yeah, and that's what we talk about. Hey man, what do you think we can do there? And I know exactly what we can do. I do. You have Sister Water, you have the Waters, and then you have the Sims, Ricky Sims. They're both there, along with some other brothers and sisters also. So I mean, there's a network that's already there. Now, if you talk to Brother Ricky go sell you Zambia. He go sell you. If you talking about, no, he go see to it that you get there. Now Brother Ricky lived in well, the Waters did too. They stayed in Tanzania, and they seen the difference between it. And so from their experience, they said no. For African Americans, we took some blows in Tanzania. They took blows. I took blows. They're there. And so, yeah, they said, no, I think this place here is going to be better for, boom, African Americans from our experience and from their experience. And so the way I see it now, sis, and, time that I got in contact with you, it rubbed off. It did. And I'm quite sure it rubbed off on Brother and Sister Galen, as well as a lot of other brothers and sisters here. Because a lot of them been asking you a whole lot of questions, and things of that nature.
Yeah. And and there are people here that understand that. Who was it? Was it Sister Monica? Who was that was asking me about investing? And I was telling them about the Forex and understanding the exchange of money. And I think
it was Sister Monica, or it was in between three sisters. I think it was probably Sister Linda Cross or Sister Monica, and then Sister Zenobia. Yeah,
and all of that plays into it. All of that plays into it. It's Brother Mike, what they've done to our minds, and that's all I was saying today. It goes deep.
Yes, it does. I see that, sis.
Very deep.
I see it.
I mean, just a few things that I've exposed to you that you knew nothing about. I hadn't shared this, and I'll share it today. Something that I shared with Brother Mike. How many of you on the live right now are familiar with something called unclaimed property? Just put a Y or yes in the chat if you are.
Hey, sister, I need for you. Go ahead and take care of the show real quick. I'm gonna take this phone call.
Okay. Anybody? All right, I'm not seeing any responses of yes. I want each of you, Sister Zenobia, You know, okay. For those who don't, any state that you've lived in or worked in, I want you to Google that state and say unclaimed property. And so if it was the state of Nevada, it would be Nevada unclaimed property. There is a website that will come up. It's government run by the state. And for any outstanding refunds or something of that nature that didn't make it to you, it will show up there. So you put in your name, and I think it asks, let me go back and just do a look because it's been a minute. And it's the Department of Labor that keeps up with this information. You may have forgot to pick up a deposit for a utility company that you had to put a deposit on and did not get the deposit back. They didn't know how to get it to you. So they'll file it with the Department of Labor, and the Department of Labor lists it. So if you go in and put your name, it's usually last name and first name, and then they may ask you to put in the city or zip code. I just leave it open and click claim. It's going to come up and show you. It's going to come up and show you if you have any outstanding money that you can claim.
Yep.
There's so many things in so many ways. I did not want to share that because I didn't want to share it and your mind is still tied to this, and you take the money and you go buy something that's unnecessary. I'm not talking about paying a bill, but I want to get this outfit or these shoes or those kind of things. We have to learn how to live without and take money like that and put it somewhere where it can help us to grow, to make more money, or to get us out of debt or something like that. But I put it out there. Go and look. And many of us will be surprised how much money we have left that we didn't know about. But
it's so true.
You know, my whole thing is I'm not trying to withhold anything. I just don't want to release something and then you spend it the way you're usually used to spending it, and nothing has changed. And then you right back needing more money.
Well, truthfully, sister, the rude awakening is coming, and it's going to force you to for the vast majority of brothers, it's going to force us to rethink how we spend, how we use, and how we move. And we're going to be forced to, hey, I need to hold this for this over here. And as a matter of fact, I need to figure out how to make this thing grow. $20, $25 is not enough. How can I make this $25 grow? You're going to have to start popping somewhere in your mind. And we coming to that particular time. We're coming to it. And it's like, whoo, it's just a matter of a door opening up. Let these unemployment levels keep going up. Keep going up. And people starting to complain. They ain't got money to go to the grocery store buy groceries. And this is your last check, or it may be a lump sum. Now, if it's a lump sum, hey, now you got to make a decision because people think $20,000 is some money. You only fooling yourself.
Okay, so and here's a good example, Mike. They're talking about giving $5,000 this dividend that they're talking about giving everybody. I guess it's another stimulus.
For real?
That's going to be a telltale of what you will do with it. And I do agree, Sister Zenobia. The first thing is getting with the Most High and asking Him, you know, how to best use this money that, you know, has come into my life.
Yeah, which is the best way of doing it.
You know, and a lot of times we never think, and I say this because I used to think this way too. Well, it's not like I didn't have this money, so I could put this somewhere and have it work for me instead of spend it down to nothing. Whereas I would take it and I would spend it. I had a conversation with a friend of mine this weekend, and she was talking about how her friend every however I don't know how often, but often, she said she's always filing chapter 13 because she gets in over her head. She shops a lot, she does this a lot, and I get that because, you know, a lot of times we've been put through so much that we feel like we need to reward ourselves. It's comforting to be able to say, I was able to do this for this hard work. But we end up getting ourselves in these situations. And, you know, she could have put that money to better use so that she doesn't have to file chapter 13 every however many years. That's one of her modes of money management. Get in debt, file chapter 13, pay it off, get cleared up so she can file chapter 13 again. There are people out here doing that.
That's that mindset.
Because they don't know any other way. And there are people that you can tell them another way, but they're too afraid to try it that way. So they keep doing it the way they're used to. The mind, I'm telling you. And it's been generation passed down to the next generation. And so it goes really, really deep. That's why I stress we got to take the action step. It makes no sense if you're listening to all of this, but you're not taking the action. That to me says you're still resorting to what you're used to doing.
They got a system, they got it set up, and we just got to do better at it. Yeah. I mean, when it's all over said and done, that's what it boils down to being.
And maybe, just maybe, the challenge should be saving a certain amount of money for a trip to Africa somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think one of the biggest problems in making a change is not having a goal or a dream big enough or strong enough to make you want to make the change. So maybe saving enough money to go to Africa to see how it is there, to stir you up to come back here, if it's just a trip to, and if everything is moving so fast, I don't even know if we're going to be leaving and even have an opportunity to come back. But taking a trip and seeing what's there could stir you into making better decisions about your money?
Sister, all right, hold on. Sister Doreen, if there are claims, what do I do?
There should be a claim button next to your name, and next to each row of information that pertains to you, click on claim and just follow the steps, and they'll send you out the money. The dollar is losing value, but it still has value. Take advantage of it.
That's what's happening. And I tell you, it's just we have to stay on top of it because and this is not no fear tactic thing. This is what's going on. This is what's going on. The system is collapsing and is bringing in another system off the top. We still got to use what we can use while it still has its usage. That's one thing we got to do. Now, when it's gone, it's gone, and everybody go know it. But at the same time, that's when your whatever you've been learning and whatever you know, your action is going to show it once the system is absolutely collapsed. It's going to show.
Or
did you listen?
Or once the system has stopped working for you. Either way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what it is. And we just have to, start bracing our backbone, start bracing our minds and bracing our hearts and doing what we need to do in order to care for our families, because that's what it's going to boil down being. That's what it's going to boil down to being. And using a sound mind, making sound judgment, and praying to the Most High for wisdom. Period. If you pray for the Most High for wisdom, and you get wisdom coming at you, and yet and still you don't do nothing with it, you're taking for granted a gift He gave you that you choose not to use. That's not a good look.
Right.
That's not a good look.
Zenobia, if you find that there are claims out there for members of your family that have passed on, then a lot of times what I've found out is that the person in charge of their estate is the one that can claim it. And of course, you have to have proof of the death, like death certificate, things of that nature. But so you finding something, Sister Zenobia? Are you finding things? Because it's amazing. Most people that I share this with, they find something. And I just went to just give you all some information. And so I clicked on my state, and there's something else that just popped up that was not there. So it's not only something you check once, you check it regularly, because things can come up. I'm looking at this. I don't even understand why I'm getting money from these people. So I have to figure out what this is about. And so that's what I meant also about them keeping us so locked into a certain direction, a certain way of thinking, and all of that. All of this kind of stuff passes us by. I remember when I first heard about high yield savings account. all the money I could have accumulated above and beyond of what I put into a bank account or a savings account. But a bank is not going to tell you. And again, that's just, and that's off the US dollar, but that's extra money you can take and put into something else, like converting it or investing it over into another, into Africa somewhere, a country in Africa. I heard Brother Galen say they invested this money into an organization to the point that they are cash poor but investment rich, or whatever they were saying. But a lot of people are too afraid to even get themselves to that situation because they've never been where I have to depend on the Most High, and He let me down before when I was here. So I don't know how I don't know how to put my trust in Him. We have to really get that honest with ourselves. Awesome. I see Sister Hazel. Awesome. I'm assuming you found that money on the unclaimed property. Awesome. Now put it in somewhere where it can go towards your ticket to go to a country in Africa to visit, or something, some goal. You understand what I'm saying, Brother Mike? Oh, he's on mute. All new money, we got to start putting it in new places. Let's not go back to the old habits of putting it somewhere where it's gone and we have no way of recovering it. Awesome, Sister Pixie. Sister Pixie is talking about looking into buying land in Liberia. All I say is wherever we choose, do our due diligence. So, yeah, I probably got a little too emotional on this call, but I'm not here trying to tie anybody to this country. But if we don't learn how to do the things we need to do here, it's not going to magically happen somewhere else. And wherever we are, we've got to get ourselves out of the mindset of spending everything we have on frivolous things that ultimately mean nothing. I always say it's focusing on the frivolous. So I hope even that that helps some people. And like Sister Zenobia, look up other family members, inform them. That's what
I'm sorry about this, sis.
Yeah, I was just telling them to look up some other family members and stuff and inform them if you find money for them.
Hey, trust and believe, sis. Somebody go back and watch this video. Like, wait a minute, I'm broke. I mean, my money looking funny. Let me go in there and check and mess around and find themselves getting blessed.
Yep. Did you see Sister Hazel's post? Her.
She said, I think she said like 330.
Uh-huh.
You sure we know some Kansas? Yeah. I mean, that's what we were supposed to do. And enlighten our brothers and sisters for ones that don't know about these things. And you know, you go in there and you start looking at things and you start putting in, and you never know. Somebody on this live go see something from what information you just gave them, and they go be like, no, this sister said this here, and I went and looked it up and couldn't find out. I didn't even know I had all this type of money just sitting back. And then, but at the same time,
it's not even collecting any interest. It's just sitting there.
Yeah. At least not from them. The city probably collecting it. They're using it. Yeah.
You know they are. They don't want you to know this because that's putting money in their pocket.
Mm-hmm. They holding on to your they holding on to your seed money and making money off of your money.
Yep.
That's
but
what
that's what's going on everywhere. Whenever you go anywhere and spend your money, that becomes seed for somebody else.
Wow.
And that's no matter where you are in this world. When you exchange for something, you know, you taking your seed and exchanging it for something that may not work in your favor. It may, but when you exchange it, you just gave somebody else seed. It went from your seed, it was your seed and it became their seed. So when you look at it that way, plant your seed somewhere where you're going to benefit out of it. At least make it a win-win situation.
Oh, when it's all over said and done, that's what it needs to be. Because, like I said, as long as we continue to maintain and use wisdom, it's going to lead to our kingdom off the top.
Right.
It's going to lead to it. We just got to continue to, other brothers and sisters, when they come to that type of training, I mean, if you don't have that information, you need to buckle down and listen and learn individually. And so, I mean, and it's going to depend upon that person, what that person wants to do. If he or she thinking they got it made or they got to understand, oh, so be it. Go make your living. And your living, your action is going to show exactly how much you know and what you don't know. But this is the system. This system is going to humble a lot of us. That's what it's going to do.
Yeah.
It's going to humble a lot of us. If you think that you're living in a nice home right now, you may find yourself living out of your vehicle.
Yeah.
You just may find yourself up here and you're going all the way down there. I'm telling you. And I seriously believe that's what's going to happen to some of us. I'm not going to say all of us, but some of us. The thing is, we got to stay focused. No matter how high you may have been and how low you go, always give glory to the Most High, because He gonna make sure you have a roof over your head. It may not be that roof that you like, but you ain't got to worry about the rain falling on you. You ain't got to worry about creatures crawling on you. Be thankful.
Yeah.
Be thankful.
Yeah.
Sister, it's getting, we've been on here for 3 hours, sister.
I know. I came on really late. You had been on here for over an hour when I came on.
Yeah.
Wait. But Brother Mike, don't even talk. You all were on Saturday for how many hours? I think that was like 6 hours.
Sis, let me tell you something. You talking about Sister E channel, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, let me tell you something, sis. I mean, I understand what Sister E is saying, because a lot of brothers and sisters just don't, they don't have the means to, through Africa. Now I understand her viewpoint, but then like I told her, I said, no, I know for a fact where I'm supposed to be. And but she more concerned about the brothers and sisters that are here, which she should be if that's what the Most High is calling her to be to speak about. Hey, you still got brothers and sisters here. All right, yes, we need to take them into consideration too. Hey, if the Most High is using you to go there to get things started, so be it. You go there and get things started. And because the Most High he's going to move his people and put them back in their land. Scripturally speaking, that's what he said he's going to do. So now, if the Most High is going to use individuals to go there, all right, prepare a place for my people. Then not Yahushua do the same thing for the 12 disciples? He said he must go home. He must go back to heaven to prepare a place for them. He did the same thing for his disciples. The only reason that his disciples didn't go to heaven at that particular time because Satan was still there. So he had to, go there, clean out Satan. Then you can come here. The same thing. I mean, we just go. I'm just taking it in a basic way. That it's not that we go all be. You will have somebody living lavishly on top of another person. Yeah, you can come to Africa and you can work for me, but we only pay. Let me see. 10 US dollars a day. See, that's that type of nonsense. I ain't gonna say. I'm not gonna call it nonsense because that's what brothers and sisters get paid like on a daily basis, and that's truthfully that's kind of high, $10. But they will work all day for that amount of money. So I mean, it's like what you were saying, sis. It's all about understanding the movement and how you invest your money. If you don't want to be in that predicament, you need to start your business. But at the same time, you still need to do right by your brothers and sisters. Now, you may have a brother that comes there and says, no, I don't want to have a business. I want to just work. He or she need to have that understanding. Hey, this is the going rate here. We're not basing nothing on the United States because what? It was pretty much an overkill anyway. And we seeing what overkill is doing to us right as we speak. Right as we speak. You can have your house built in Dar es Salaam. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. 3 bedrooms, 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, house in Dar es Salaam, starting at $2,500. Now, come to the United States and tell me, can you do that? Can you take $2,500 and build you, let's just say, a 2-bedroom home? You know for a fact this is no. It's gonna cost you way more than that just to get the builder to do it. The materials gonna cost you more than that. So I mean, when we take a step back, we may have to take a serious step back. If you go into that continent talking about you want to go to work, unless you go in there being a doctor or something else, I mean, I can't speak on the doctors. I don't know how much they make, but just for a regular laborer, they do not get paid a lot of money. They do not.
And
they do not.
I want to say one thing. And I know as I listen to you, what my assignment is here for the Most High, from the Most High. And it is probably more on the lines of Sister E, and that's working with the ones that are still here. I understand your calling and what assignment has been put on your life. My thing, as I listen to you, and you broke that down about you can get a place for $2,500, I think you said?
Yes.
Okay. It is my responsibility to get with people who are interested in going there, to have them understand the breakdown of where they are financially to be able to afford above and beyond just hearing $2,500. How do you sustain yourself behind? You understand that? Because there are people that will go over there and have $2,500 and have no way to continue to live there.
Yeah, that's true. That's
because
true.
they have not been taught beyond what they hear about. Oh, that's all. Okay, I'm on my way there. So they get enough money to travel over there to get the property. Haven't even thought about, well, how do I sustain myself? How do I make sure that I can consistently keep this up? Those kind of things. That's my assignment, to try to get people to start thinking in those directions, no matter where you're supposed to be going. If you think for whatever reason you're supposed to stay here, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Anyway, how do you stay here? You need to understand what's going on here, and and so understanding, where how to read your picture, your financial picture, your business, your household business, to be able to move anywhere you want and be able to sustain, be able to thrive, be able to be a contributing person to the economic landscape of wherever you are. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not about trying to tell you where you're supposed to go one way or another. Not my lane. He didn't put me in that lane.
Right. I got you on that.
He put me in the lane of making sure wherever you believe the Most High told you to go, you need to understand these things such that you can thrive when you get there.
Yeah. That's the thing. Because I mean, like you go there with 2,500, you have the house built. You need a steady income. If you make $100 a day, if you could pull $100 a day, $100 a day, you straight. You middle class. That's middle class. Your house is paid for. Your water bill. Let me see. Your water bill, your lights, and what else? What else? That right there. That should cost you a total of $100, and you good to go for with the water bill. That goes for like 6 months at $50, and you have the lights. That's like that may be like, well, I'm sorry. That's $50 USD, $25. No, about $15 USD for the electricity. So if you, like I said, if you could bring in that $100 a day, that's the least, and you manage your money right.
And that's the key.
There you go.
Person is an individual. It may be $100 for you, but based on somebody else's lifestyle, it may end up being 150.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they get over there thinking all they need is 100, and they $50 short every month. That's what I'm saying. It's an individual thing that you have to sit down yourself and go over and find out how much is it for this, how much is it for this. Oh, I like coffee or side or whatever it is that maybe you don't. And so I need to add that into my overall picture where you might not add it into yours, Mike. So it's an individual thing. Everybody, so if I like coffee and you don't, Mike, so you didn't include it in yours, and this is just an example. So you don't have the right to tell that person, well, just don't drink coffee so you can be at $100. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. You're right.
So that person has to plan for what works best for them. And that's what I'm trying. That's why I'm coming and I'm saying these things, but it has to come down to an individual making these choices, or a household. I say not but a household.
That's the
And
thing.
based on what you feel you're comfortable with, how does that play over here or over there? Or what do I need to be doing over there to make this a reality for me? And then that's where people like you come into play, because you're over there. You can say, oh, you're going to need this for that, this for that. This. Okay, boom. I need to work on this over here a little bit more to be able to get myself in a situation where I can thrive when I get there.
Mm.
All of that has to be taken into consideration. We can't just go, oh, that's all it is? Okay, yeah, I'm out.
Mm. Yeah,
So
that's the thing. Now it's going to take some research. Now it's going to take research.
that's all I'm trying to teach us to do.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how money works. It's the same no matter where you go in this world.
Mm. And that's
You're
it.
still gonna need it to some form of money to do trade.
Mm. Well, sister, let me do this here. I gotta send in. I tell you, they sending more backgrounds. They treat me like a criminal, but I know that I understand what they got me. They want me to do. I just gotta go ahead and take care of this stuff.
No
But brothers
problem.
and sisters, I tell you, keep your head on a swivel. Let us take heed to warnings. Take heed to the warnings that has been given to us, and show. We want to show the Most High that we're listening to Him. That's what we want to do. Show the Most High that we are listening to Him, because He's going to speak through me by means of His people. That's what He's going to do. And so now, whether you want to believe that or not, that's going to be left up to you. And right now, brothers and sisters are getting to a point where, hey, only thing I'm going to do is say this. I got to keep it moving, because I got my own family I got to take care of. They're going to help you, but they're not going to too much pacify you, because things are getting a whole lot realer.
Yep.
If that is a word. And that's what's happening. That is what's happening. Keep your head on the swivel, Israel. This Exodus is like a pre-Exodus, but we got to go through the trouble. We got to feel the pain in order for us to call out to the Most High. It's like, this is what we got to do, because the vast majority of people that the Most High is looking at, that He's about to waken up, they got to go through the pain in order for them to understand and appreciate who is it that is wakening them up. Because He has a desire for no one to be destroyed. He has a desire for no one to be destroyed. And let us continue to be encouraged to our brothers and sisters and do what we can do to the best of our ability. And with that, brothers and sisters, I will say shalom. Be safe out there. All right. Thanks a lot, Sister Doreen.
All right. Shalom.
All right. Bye-bye.